Welcome back to the Context Beat podcast featuring myself, Spencer, and my co-host Matt with the Untitled Gaming TV. And some might call him the messenger of the gods. Some might call him the god himself, the Blurred Lord. Fistcake, how's it going?
Oh, Blurred Lord. I like that. It's like somebody trying to say Blood Lord, but like incorrectly.
Nah.
I love it. Nah, you're just blurry. It ain't cool. No, don't worry about that shit.
And this is officially the last episode of the first, what we're calling season of Content Complete.
Yeah, it's like Naruto, dude. We got like 100 episodes in the season. I don't know, dude. Anime, fuck it.
And if you think if every episode on average, because for a while we just did 1 hour, was like an hour long, I mean, we're well over like 120 hours of podcast.
Which still is like the beginning arc of Naruto. So I mean, that's just
Yeah, you haven't even gotten past their time at school.
yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen an episode.
You never seen even one episode? I didn't
Not
realize
even
that.
one.
That's crazy.
I have the Naruto curse where I purposely learned to say it incorrectly, and now I don't even know like what the correct way of saying it is anymore. So
Naruto.
cool. See, I try to say that, but it still comes out Naruto, so it's really hard. It's now I just sound like a fucking idiot whenever I talk about it. So it's pretty cool.
You're all the Naruto.
Yeah, the Narutos, oh, they're pretty cool. All those ninjas and kids and stuff.
Oh man, my other favorite show is Blech.
Black. Black. Oh god.
So this time we're gonna start with what we played this week, but we're actually gonna get pretty quickly into the main topic of today's episode, which is our top 10 games of the last decade. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We all made a separate list. We didn't make one cohesive list, but we're all going to talk about each other's games and how they're affected us or why we put them there and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. But first, Fistcake, why don't you tell us what you've been playing lately?
To save all the boring stuff, I've been playing a lot of Tekken 7. I've been playing against Adam. Now we have a third person in the group named Roken, who has like been a Tekken 7 fan for a while. And has been trying to get people into it.
Yeah.
I mentioned it, and like, hey, play with me. I'm like, okay. So
Okay.
So I've been getting into that, and just recently the Tekken World Tournament finals just happened. I think an Akuma won. An Akuma player, if I remember correctly. Which last year it was a bear who won, one of the bear characters, which are considered to be like lowest tier, which is kind of funny. But along with the tournament, they released a new DLC. One's frame data. You can buy frame data for like $3. Which,
Yeah, I saw that. That was a bold artistic decision to do that. I think right now it's sitting at like very negative on Steam or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like on Steam you can just go download a mod to get that anyway. So, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what everybody else thought at the same time too. They're like, oh, okay, sweet. We've had to buy frame data, but along with the new character frame data, they have Ganryu. He's a sumo wrestler. He's supposed to be like a joke character. I guess he's like this big fan of another character in the game called Julia, who's like a streamer who's trying to like save forests or something. And like, I don't know. I guess like his story is like he set up a restaurant in the last Tekken, so he has all this money for the restaurant, and then he saw that Julia was like making a fundraiser for some reforestation project, and because he's bad with computers, he accidentally gave her all his money. So now he's trying out streaming, and he does the exact same stuff as her, as like the cutesy Japanese anime girl shit.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's very, yeah, it's something. So there's that Ganryu, and he's pretty. I heard some good things about him, but there's another character I got called Leroy Smith. I got him because he has a pit bull named Sugar.
Nice.
And she's cute. I mean, she's worthless, but it's cute. You have like one move where you can like call her in.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh, sugar," but it's like the longest move ever, and there's like an RNG thing where sometimes she'll just run up and do nothing, and other times she'll just slowly charge across the field.
Nice.
Most people can dodge it years ahead of time. I think I've seen it successfully work like one time on somebody, but that's about it.
That's like the BM move. Like, if you know you're ahead. If it works, you win. If it doesn't work, fuck it.
So I originally got him because of the dog, and he's like a Wing Chun master. He's kind of like an homage to like the old blaxploitation movies. Where,
Oh, okay.
His family was killed in like some gangs, so he like he also got hurt in some turf war, and he ended up going to Asia, learning like Wing Chun for 50 years, and then he comes back to fix up his neighborhood. I don't know. So anyways, I started playing him because he's like a lot of fun. He's got like the Wing Chun like the Ip Man stuff where he punches like 300 times in a row.
Yeah.
And just cool moves like that. And I've been having a good time. I've been enjoying myself. I did think like one move was kind of bullshit. It was like basically it'll take out like a third of your health if it can connect. So it's like a 3-hit combo. But if the first hit connects, then like the rest is good. So and it's pretty quick. So I'm like, okay, they'll probably nerf that. But apparently that's not the only thing they should nerf, according to everybody that's played Tekken that is on the subreddits and on the Twitters and stuff.
Of course.
He has 3 parries, which one's pretty quick. Like one, he can just like pretty much parry like most attacks, and it's kind of hard to like avoid that one. One is literally like a stance that he takes that you can see, and that automatically parries like low attacks. And the other one is like where he basically just walks forward in like a weird stance that you can also like see and not like if you don't know, you're obviously going to attack him. But if you know him at all, you won't like attack him while he's doing that.
Yeah.
And actually there might be 4. I think his taunt is also a parry, but I mean I don't know.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so he might actually have 4 parries, but I do okay against other Leroy players, but they pull out shit I've never even fathomed before.
Yeah.
Like, they have memorized all his moves. He has,
It's
like,
crazy how quick people can do that.
Yeah, right. It's just like, oh, okay. And I guess like a lot of the complaints is that he has. I guess like the general thing is people are saying that he has like the best tools from every other character, and does it better.
No, he's the Joker.
Yeah.
The Joker?
Yeah.
Joker from Ultimate.
Ultimate. Yeah. A lot of people say like a similar thing to
Joker.
him.
Gotcha. No, gotcha. But yeah, I'm trying to think like it's just like, yeah, that's kind of like the journalist complaint about him is, and I'm like, okay.
So he's
but
good.
Like all the,
well,
yeah, he's
they're
good,
bad
yeah.
for making a good character.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I was brain fart. So yeah, I've been seeing that. I'm like, okay, but me playing against other Leroy players, you would think that I would have like somewhat of a chance, but it's either they completely destroy me, or I completely destroy them. I think like one time, I would repeatedly play against a guy. He won like the first 2, and then like I won the next 4.
Download complete.
Yeah, right. I guess. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Like, yeah, I think it just takes me a while to kind of figure out what people are doing and adjust. But yeah, just I don't know. Well, it is. I mean, he's a fun character. I enjoy him, but I just don't. I don't appreciate everybody dunking on my boy Leroy. You know. Because I don't want to like be good at a character, and then people are like, "Oh man, you're a fucking scrub for picking the best character in the game." I'm like, but he's cool. He has dreadlocks and he has a dog.
You're a
Did you
tier
see the
whore.
dog?"
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No, I
played
just
Cinnamon
I
Smash.
like the shine because it can kill you at 4%. It's sick. Okay, that's why I do it. It's not because he's good.
Yeah, it's not just because he's number one, all right? Because he's awesome.
Yeah. He's got a
I'll-
cool tool, okay?
I was gonna ask. You were saying that he has 3 to 4 parries. Is that significant because most people have like 1 or 2, or like what's the average, as far as you know?
He's the second DLC character I have out of like 8, so I can't say for everybody, but like most people have like a stance or something that allows that kind of gives them like a unique thing in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Adam's character, Lucky Chloe, has like this basically a dance stance that she basically break dances into combos, and so
Nice.
if you're not like careful, she can trip you up. But there's like if not everybody has a parry. It's most there's like a few other characters that have parries, and I feel like him having 4 is probably a bit much, but 3 of them, like 3 of them are pretty like is like what to do. Like if there's 3 of that, like one's just like literally him standing there with his leg up, the other one he's like shuffling forward like a weirdo, and the one
Yeah.
is like literally taunting you. The other one you can like the quick one, which basically he just like puts his arms up. You can kind of bait out pretty easily if you're using your noodle, and then hit him with a low.
Right.
I would say that his parries and the one attack are probably need to be nerfed somehow. I don't know how you would nerf the parries, but maybe just maybe not make the taunt a parry, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that stuff's hard because it's like, oh, well, we'll nerf it, so we'll make it, I don't know, slower or something like that. And then people are like, characters, now the character just gets destroyed or something, like
Yeah, now
Yeah.
now he's useless. No one
Yeah.
uses him.
Yeah.
You're like, well, fuck, we
As in-
tried, all right?
he has 3 parries, but they're all so slow. Like his frame data is terrible now. They added like 5 frames, and like you can't do anything.
And I had to pay to see it. I had to pay to see his frame data.
It's bullshit. Nah, yeah, if they like lower his all overpower, he's gonna get fucked because he's not strong otherwise. Besides that one attack, he just slowly chips at people. So if they if they like lower his entire power, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll win someday, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Just keep chipping away at you. Parry, go dog, go. Other than Tekken 7, haven't really been playing anything. But yeah, that's it for me. What have you two been up to?
Games.
Mhm.
Played some more. What's that game? We played 4 hours of it.
Days Gone.
Days Gone.
Oh, DayZ.
Yeah, sure. No. Yeah, Days Gone. It's still an alright game. It's a fun time. There, some stuff's happened, right? Like, so, oh man, so and so might be alive or something. That type of stuff. But as far as, I guess, mechanically or the gameplay loop, it's kind of it's revealed its rhythm a little bit, but yeah, it's one of those games where it's not like groundbreaking necessarily, but it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's just enough to keep me like, oh, I kind of want to see where it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Last week, just played Hades. Big new update. Lots of cool stuff. What else? Played
Oh, we
Ultimate.
played Halo.
Oh yeah,
Sorry
we
about
played
that.
Halo.
oh yeah, we played Halo.
Literally undefeated Griffball champions of the world.
Yeah, standard Griffball is our game.
We had a game 5
I was
one.
gonna say.
It was close, and that was like
I was
one
saying
out of
that's
2
stupid.
times that people actually like even
Scored.
on us.
Yeah. Let's say not that stupid subsection of Griffball where you have like the rolling and the sprinting.
Yeah,
the
Griffball
armor.
Dash or Blarg Ball, which is just an atrocity of man.
Classic Griffball. That's where we ran.
Standard Griffball, standard rules. All right, none of this bullshit. All right, it's just skill and team coordination.
Exactly. Played Ultimate. I fucking dumpstered on Spencer.
He did.
Just
Dumpstered him.
utterly destroyed him.
Yeah. We were both pretty tired, but I was definitely I came out the worst in that one.
Played some Melee today, first time in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh wow. Oh, because you've been working on your musics.
Yeah,
And that was good.
that's really it. I mean,
Yeah, we haven't played like literally anything.
yeah. It's a big change considering that like the last couple of months, I feel like we've had a few games going at the same time,
Yeah.
and just this last bit, it's been kind of, music's been taking up most of our time. So, but I mean, yeah, I think that'll about do us as well. So, do we want to move over
Nice.
to our top 10 of the decade?
Bam, ba, da, bam, bam, bam.
Now, Fiske, you were saying earlier before the cast that you went through all of the 10 years or so. I think we were starting at 2009. Did you start at 2009?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just kind of overall just picked a top 10 out of those. And then Matt and I went through and decided to pick one game for each year. And then make a top 10 out of those. And that was a difficult job. I started before Matt making, like, I went through each year and made a list of all the games that were good in each year and then try to narrow it down from there. And I probably started maybe an hour before you yesterday. And
Took
then,
me about 15, 20 minutes.
I mean, it took you an episode
Wow.
of Veronica Mars, I think. I mean, it's just like
42
40
minutes. Okay.
It took me like
Yeah,
40
my
minutes.
mistake.
Matt's really good about just going to be like, this game. And I'm over there like, no, but like this game though. And like, if I pick this game,
Will it make the other game feel bad?
is this really, I mean,
I don't want to embarrass the other game.
did I really spend a lot of time playing this game or does this game even deserve it? So I can't wait till we get to some
Yeah.
because they each amplify a year and certain years are better than others. There is a
Oh, for
particular
sure.
year that literally has one great game and then everything else was fucking trash.
Was that 2014 or
Yeah.
2015?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Okay, yeah.
2014.
It's 2014, man.
I was
Nothing.
like, what I did, I just went to Wikipedia. I'm like, games in 20, blah, blah, blah. And
That's what I
2014
did.
was like the quickest thing. I'm like, oh, I'm already, oh, okay. All right, whatever.
Nothing.
Yeah, sweet.
Just crickets.
Just cobwebs. Huh.
And a ton of games just being re-released. Just a
Yeah.
ton. Like that
Oh,
whole
yeah.
year was like the year of ports.
Yeah, because I think the new consoles had just like started taking hold, so they're
Right.
remastering a bunch for the
Mhm.
new consoles.
Yeah.
Remastered.
I remember that. Remastered.
So yeah.
Okay.
Uh huh. Anyways, you want to start, Fiskake?
Yeah.
Your number 10.
What is your number 10?
Oh, my number 10 game of the decade is Red Dead Redemption 1 and the Undead Nightmare DLC thing. I think it was a very good combination of Red Dead Revolver and like a new, like the GTA spin on it, because it still had like the classic shootouts. The story was good. The DLC was really cool. It was just fun, like, to see him take like a completely different approach, or not a different approach, but like just take the story like a different direction. It's like, okay, now the zombos are alive. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I never got
it
to
was
play
fun
on
to
Dead
ride
Nightmare.
Oh, really? I mean, it was pretty fun to get the 4 horses of the apocalypse. You could ride each one.
That's cool.
And then, like, after you beat that, you get the play as zombie John Marston, who just goes, "Rah," instead of like, boy, or whatever. I forgot
Yeah.
what he said. I don't,
That's cool.
Yeah. P.U. you stink when he skins an animal. That's right. Yeah, I think they just literally did that for that. But yeah, I know, just all around, like, it just kind of like when I saw him, like, oh yeah, that's gonna be up there. Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't hate as much as I used to. I have some time to get away from it. It's fine, but Red Dead Redemption 1 Undead Nightmare has more weight in my heart than Red Dead 2. So
Yeah, I believe it. That I mean, really, playing Red Dead Redemption 2 was only better if you had also played Red Dead Redemption 1. It's
I
like
haven't played it.
we played a bit of it.
Yeah, we played a bit, but like
You didn't play through the whole thing.
No.
though.
we played to
To
what is
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
shit,
it.
Mexico.
But-
Oh, Mexico.
Yeah, sometimes you need to the first game that starts a series, or at least like the way that Red Dead Redemption kind of affected that whole series. And makes sense.
That's all I'd say for it.
Should
Alright.
you go or should I go?
You can go.
No, you go.
Okay, fine. My number 10 of the decade. Oh crap, this is funny. I went ahead and put Guitar Hero Metallica.
That's number one of mine.
Yeah. So I had a different game here initially. And then
You fucking asshole.
late last night, I was going back to the list, and I'm not stealing it. It's just I have to give it real props, okay? And we can talk about it. We can both talk about it here. But like
Oh, it's not my number 10.
the other game that I had there was it just didn't. Oh yeah, I put Dragon Age Origins, right? Originally it was Dragon Age Origins, and I'm like, okay, you know, I liked the game. It's really really good. I never beat it, but I really had a good time with it. And then I thought back, I'm like, how many fucking hours did Matt and I put into Guitar Hero Metallica?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Just specifically that game. And like we would get done with whatever we're doing, or and it'd be like, all right, let's go play our set. And we would have like a set of like 10 songs or something, and just run through them all over and over. It like never got boring. And yeah, it's just the whole Guitar Hero phenomenon and Rock Band thing in general was something that we just dumped hours and hours and hours into.
Was was it just straight up Guitar Hero, or was it like Rock Band?
It was the whole thing.
Yeah, so
Bass, drums,
yeah,
guitar.
Oh,
or
gotcha. Okay. I
usually
can't remember.
most of the time when we were playing at the same time, it would be me on guitar, Matt on drums, or just both of us on guitar. Sometimes I'll play drums. Matt tended to be better because he actually had to end up taking classes. But like for me, and I'll give you a chance to talk about it unless you want to wait. But it's just it actually made me like other songs by a band that I already super enjoyed. Like is already like one of my favorite bands of all time that I never gave a chance or enough of a chance. And playing him the game and having him be an option like that is like, I don't know, it just gave me, I was like, oh shit, this song is actually like really sick. And I didn't really, because I generally hung out as far as what I listened to with like the first 4 or 5 albums, you know? And they had a bunch of other stuff that was also good that maybe I'd listened to like once. And the game, you know, playing in the game is like, is a whole different experience. And it was probably because Guitar Hero Metallica came out after I think Guitar Hero 3, and after Rock Band and Rock Band 1 had already come out, or Rock Band and Rock Band 1, and Rock Band 2 had already come out. And so some of the growing pains of that genre of tacking on drums
Had been fixed.
had been fixed. And so it was just a really like well-designed experience. So yeah, it's why I had to put it on the list, and over Dragon Age Origins.
Wow. I
but
enjoyed the Rock Band experience. I just hated the bass pedal for the drums. It didn't have enough give. I guess.
Yeah, it didn't have enough.
Give is.
Well, there's a weird thing because I'm doing with the electronic drum kit where it doesn't.
There's no feedback.
There's
right?
no feedback.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
there's not
for sure.
enough. It's not like it doesn't react like a real kick does.
Yeah.
So you're like slamming down on it, and you have no frame of reference with like how hard you need to be slamming down on it, right? It's like just sometimes it feels like you really got to push, and other times it's like, yeah,
I just moved
It
an
just wasn't
inch.
sensitive, right? It was like, yeah, it was weird. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
yeah,
that's
I
very
agree with you. The kick drum was not the best, in, like especially in the first guitar, the first Rock Band. It was.
Yeah, the first Rock Band was awful.
I think you broke.
No,
Didn't they-
I broke it like way like during like Rock Band 3.
Yeah, it did break though, and it was crazy. You stomped
Didn't
right
they
through
like
it.
release like a super expensive like pro edition of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
with,
never
like,
got that
better-
one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember. I thought that was a thing. I was like, is that real? Why would they? Okay, whatever.
yeah. I remember. I don't know if it was branded as Rock Band or Guitar Hero necessarily, but there was a drum set that was released that could also double as an actual electronic drum set. Like that's how advanced it was.
Yeah, that's
was
right.
for Rock Band, I
was a
believe.
Rock
Was
Band.
it for Rock Band?
That was Rock
Yeah.
Band. Yeah. Because they had like the fancy symbols and stuff. I remember now.
Was there anything else you wanted to add about Guitar Hero Metallica, Matt?
No, it's not my number 10. So
Oh, you're gonna wait.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's my number 10.
My number 10 is Wolfenstein, The New Order, I think.
Yeah, that's that.
The remade one. Just because
Before the
only
new Colossus.
like real thing came out in 2010. That was any good? Or it wasn't in 2010. It was like in 2011 or 12 or whatever. But I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
It was for one of the years I didn't have anything.
Yeah,
But I enjoyed it enough.
yeah. I mean, it was a good game.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed it more than the new Colossus. Just 'cause, like,
Yeah, the new Colossus wasn't very good.
Like until you get your new body, new Colossus, the whole thing was just sad and depressing.
Yeah. No, I guess I'll kill Nazis. Barely.
Was
Yeah.
was New Order the one where you meet with the group of people who are underground, and everything's all Nazi, and then you have to kind of like from the inside like sneak into the main city and then do all that stuff? Yeah, the game was pretty good. Yeah, it was just a solid experience, and I remember the gunplay being pretty nice.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
That's my number 10.
Oh, okay. All right.
Number 9.
My number 9 game of the decade goes to Titanfall 2. Woo. It's unfortunate that
You and 4 other
it's-
people.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the unfortunate part because it's a really cool game. It's I enjoy the action in it, but if you play online now, you're playing with a bunch of killers who have been playing the game since it first came out and have refused to drop it. I think they had made it for free on the PlayStation Plus recently though, so maybe it might have a new.
Yeah, apparently it has like
Swelling.
tens of thousands of people playing on PlayStation.
Shit, dude.
It's the most active like version of the game.
I have
Jump
to
on
download
it.
just so I can play again. Yeah, fuck. I got it for Xbox One when we had an Xbox One, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. Oh, this is pretty sweet. And then other video games happened,
Mm-hmm.
and I eventually got on the Steam, or not the Steam, but the Origin thing. Played it again for like another couple weeks or so. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. This is oh, everybody's murdering me. Oh, I'm not doing so hot. Oh god. Oh boy. And I guess I'm gonna have my third run here in a little bit when I download Titanfall 2 for the PlayStation 4 because I mean, why not? But I don't know. It was just really cool. Like the story mode was pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
they put a lot of time into the story mode and stuff.
And like the multiplayer is fun. Like you get to ride giant mechs in a first person shooter.
Yeah.
You get to fly around and zip around, do cool trick shots. Like, what the fuck? This should be the coolest game in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Go play Titanfall 2, cowards. But yeah, no. I mean, that's pretty much it for my number 9 of the decade.
Yeah, Titanfall's a sick game. That's one of those games that I kind of wish that I had played more as well. And neither of us ever ended up actually getting Titanfall 2. But like we were talking about the gimmick or whatever, the idea of it being able to have mech fights is always a fun idea.
Yeah.
Like ever since I played like Mech Warrior on the 3 back in the day with my joystick or whatever, it's like, dude, this is sick. You're a fucking mech. But
Fuck yeah, dude.
So my number 9. One second. I gotta scroll down.
Okay. The anticipation's killing me.
Dark Souls 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Dark Souls 3 is, and I remember.
The third in the Dark Souls.
Yeah. The third in the Dark Souls series,
okay.
the fourth in the Souls series.
It's the fifth.
Is it the fifth?
Fifth,
There's Demon Souls
Demon
and then.
Souls.
Blood-Borne came out before.
Oh, well, okay. I wasn't counting that one, but I guess that makes sense.
Why would you not?
The
count
Soulsborne
it?
series. I got
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Either way, it's one of. So I've beaten Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3, but Dark Souls 3 was, I think, the best experience I had in just playing, like, with a group, running through the game, and just, it wasn't Dark Souls 2 where everything was fucking fucked all the time, and weird, and completely
Awful.
imbalanced and shitty. But Dark Souls 3, I don't know, there's just like a ton. We didn't even spend a whole lot of time. We played through it once, right? But it was like a hell of a time. It was a ton of fun. I played something I think similar to what I ended up doing in Dark Souls 2 because I liked it so much when I played in Dark Souls 3. The tanky heal boy, basically.
Lord
And Dark
Fancy
Souls 3
Pants.
had some legit heals. Like I was doing all sorts of shit. I had like a big heal and then a single heal, and it was cool. Like one of those games that I don't know. It is a Dark Souls game, obviously, so it's difficult and you got to be careful and or whatever. But you also like felt cool. I don't know. It's just a fun time, and also it was probably the best game that I could find that came out in the year that it was released. That wasn't going to be one that was on one of your guys' lists, and also one that I actually played. Going through these lists, I realized there's not a whole lot of games that I really like played that ended up being like the better games of the decade. So I had to pick this one over some other ones that came out in the same year, 2016, just because I did play the whole thing and I had a great time. And it was probably the most fun that I had playing a Dark Souls game. Specifically
because when
Souls.
you and D tried to play Blood-Borne, it didn't go well for you.
I still had fun in Blood-Borne.
D just like outclassed him. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
We had like a little death counter.
Yeah, and I had like I think 14 or 15 deaths, and she had 1 or 2.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the most fun that I had with a Dark Souls game specifically. Yeah, that's why it's my number 9.
I was about to say, I have that. That's like the only one I haven't played, but I have it installed on my computer. I just have to click the play button at some point, but
Yeah,
maybe sometime next year.
it's a good time. There's a lot of
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
My number 9 is Guitar Hero Metallica.
Shit.
Oh,
Really?
bold move.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. Oh, it's like someone just
I
like
didn't wanna-
hopefully didn't steal my thunder
I didn't want to steal your
beforehand.
thunder. I thought you made it your number 10, and so I tried to put it as the same one because last night you said it was your number 10.
Yeah, but then I was like, it deserves to be higher than Wolfenstein.
I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. Did you have anything specific?
No,
on
dude,
it?
it's just like
Well, I
it's
wanted to bring up
Metallica.
So I wanted to bring up, like
Who gives a shit
playing
anymore, right?
playing the drums specifically on Guitar Hero Metallica. I know was a really, I don't know, like one of the things that kind of elevated your actual drum play.
Yeah, I stole a lot of stuff from Lars that I still incorporate to this day
Yes.
because I learned it from Guitar Hero Metallica.
I'll say like the drums and the Rock Band and Guitar Heroes, but it's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was pretty on point.
Yeah, I mean, even though it was like a simplified hit the thing here or whatever, I think the Guitar Hero
yeah.
one had the actual hi-hat.
Yeah, it had the hi-hat and the 2 cymbals.
Yeah, so it was much closer to playing an actual drum set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just remember after you played Guitar Hero Metallica, like you had been taking classes to play drums, but then it's like, then you could actually play drums. You know, it's like there was a marked difference. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
was about to say
especially spending
the-
hundreds of hours doing it.
yeah, like it was actually like some people talk about. Oh yeah, I used to play Guitar Hero, and that actually made me want to play guitar or whatever, right? But that translates only so much. But that game, or you know, playing the drums, I feel like, especially with the quality that Guitar Hero Metallica had, was actually
I think
created
actually,
skills.
yeah, it actually helped the skill growth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I learned the only thing I ever learned from Rock Band or whatever was the maps thing, the map song from the Yeah Yeahs or
Yeah.
whatever.
We used to play that all the time.
I can do that anytime now. That's my superpower. It's not a good one, but I
No.
can just do it.
That's sick.
Just give me a table. I'm gonna do maps with my hands, and my foot. Swear to
Give
God,
me-
I can do it.
To give you a drum set and become just that song cover band.
Yeah. All right, that was maps. Now we're gonna play maps. Okay, hit it. God damn it. Oh God. So is
Yep.
that it for your number 9?
That's it from number 9.
My number 8 game of the decade goes to The Evil Within 2.
Oh, yeah, that's a good game.
I really enjoyed it. I originally played it thinking it was like, okay, because I seen like some people, like some YouTubers play a little bit of it. I'm like, oh, this looks pretty cool. Doesn't seem as bad as like the first one or whatever.
Hey, we played the
And-
first one. First one was not bad.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was one
It
game at the
was-
beginning, and then it was a different game at the end. But so
Also, a couple different games in the middle, but it was a good time.
you could
and
say
it was scary.
transformative.
I don't know really what happened.
I don't think they know.
It was some
Yeah, I
crazy
think
shit.
I think they were kind of like just adding shit towards the end, but
At one point, it was literally an Inception.
Yeah, there was an Inception mode.
But that's Evil Within 1.
You know, yeah, we're not talking about that.
We're
It
talking
didn't
about
make a
Evil
list.
Within 2.
Evil Within 2 is also Inception like, so that's
No, I'm talking
yeah,
about where they
yeah.
actually do the buildings thing, where the Inception, where they like
Oh,
fold over the
I think it was
world.
just-
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like everything got all crazy and weird.
I just think meant the concept of going into somebody's mind or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. But yeah, no, Evil Within 2. It was like a really cool mix of like survival horror and like an action game. And kind of like just add to it, and plus like you can go pretty much anywhere and like discover shit, like different like little stories, or like you go to this one house and there's like that classic like Japanese ghost following you around now forever. Now you got the curse on you.
Oh, that
Yep.
Now
bitch.
she's gonna stalk you forever
Yep,
until
that
she's
happened to us.
take you.
Actually scary.
Yep,
Yeah, it
actually
was
scary.
terrifying. Nah, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna shit myself now. That's fine, whatever.
I will not make it out alive, even though every other time you did, right? Like 90% of the time, still feel like you're gonna die. Always.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think like the only time I died to her was like towards the end, and I think it's just because she was like floating up like a bunch of like chairs and stuff, like she was making like an obstacle course,
Right.
and I kind of got confused what her line of sight was. Yeah, I was just like, okay, I can make. Oh no, oh she totally got me. Okay, I'm dead. But that and like what they did like with your enemies was really cool. They just did cool like dream shit that you could do if you were stuck in like a mind palace. Like, oh, this guy can take pictures and freeze somebody dying forever. Whoa. Oh, this guy's on fire a lot. Oh, it's your wife, the scariest enemy of them all. Whoa.
Did you clean the dishes? Ooh.
How was
Did you-
your day?
Take out the trash.
Let
You
me
know,
tell
women
about
things.
My day. Yeah, classic women stuff. Stuff that makes nightmares.
Yeah.
I just all in
Chores.
all, I just really enjoyed like all the cool Mind Palace stuff they did, and I think it's a really cool game worth checking out. But Yeah, that's all I had to say about my number 8.
All right. My number 8 is
Duh.
FTL. Faster Than
Ah,
Light. Yeah. It's
all
won
right.
out over a
I'm
lot
into
of
that.
other games. But I will say I spent like the time that I played FTL, I played a lot of FTL. I think I won the game like once, right? Beat the mothership or whatever. But the amount of customization and different stuff you could do, and every time I played, I was like learning something new, and like I would watch some streams and like, oh, this guy's doing this thing, Lethal Frag or whatever. At the time, like, oh, there's a whole different style of, your composition, and then controlling your guys, and like that's like my shit. Like I like that, the whole management stuff and all that, and it's one of the few games that was a spaceship game, like a spaceship battle game that brought forth the having people on multiple jobs thing and making it actually work in a really satisfying way. And it's the type of game that I really wish would be either redone or be able to be done with multiple players, so everybody could get together and do it. That isn't one of those bridge simulator ones that's like a stripped down kind of, it's just not the same version. There's a bunch of games, I think there's like 3, where you can get with friends and each of you is like a different job, and you can go on a ship and you're in battles, but it's not the same, right? It's not to the same level. You're not doing the same level of management and stuff, or it's like overly complicated where, yeah, it's just, they hit something right with it. It was just the right amount of simple and just a hell of a time. Like, one of the few roguelites that I actually did play like a lot of outside of like Isaac or something like that. And I never became good at Isaac.
Yeah, it happens. I'm not good at Isaac either. It's fine. I was gonna say, like, what lends to it also is like it's a pretty quick game too, because you either die super quick or you win super quick because you're running away from people. So I think that kind of like adds to like, oh shit, I got a bad run. That's okay. I'll just do it over real quick. Redo. Oh
Yeah.
Somebody shot at the side of my ship and all my people are dead. Okay, well, redo. Fuck it. Keep going.
I'd played it so many times before the advanced mode or like add-on came out that I'm pretty sure I had seen just about every either between me playing it or watching someone play it, like every little random encounter type thing. And so like I had favorite ones. I'd be like, oh, sick, this one. All right, I already know what to do. But yeah, no, it was also one of those types of games that I actively was like, I need to try every little thing in here because I just couldn't get enough of it. I need to play that game again. I haven't played it in a long time. Yeah, that's my number 8.
Fun little game.
My number 8, also published by Bethesda. Dishonored 1.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good.
All right, well, that's my number 8.
Matt's not.
Oh, I'm
Gonna
not
wax
firing
poet.
on all cylinders. I don't know. It was, I think, the only real stealth game, not in the modern era, that I actually enjoyed the stealth.
That's true.
I liked the way that they did morality with the killing people or not killing people. I thought that was interesting.
And like shit actually changes in the world. Like that's super cool.
Yeah. Goddamn rats.
All the rats, dude. You had a pretty
those rats,
clean
okay.
world.
Yeah, I had low chaos.
Yeah, because you had it's crazy to see some people playing it and their shit's like fucked up. You're like, dude, what did you do? Just infestations everywhere.
I don't think I've ever done like a high chaos route in any Dishonored game. I've always tried to keep a low profile. I try to do a ghost and like no kill run, and I think I probably told the story like at least 5 times now, but it's the last episode of the season, so fuck it. Like I got all the way through the game, or I got like halfway through the game, and I found out like I've already got disqualified for like the no kill thing, and it's because I wasn't thinking. I knocked out a guy, and I think like I
You fell into
got
the
him in like sewer or whatever.
the canal or whatever.
And you drowned.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
the first level, yeah. Very first level, I fucked it up and I didn't notice it. It was like, oh,
God,
cool.
that's the worst.
All my hard work.
But it's
okay.
also kind of cool. You're like, holy shit. Now I
Yeah.
gotta pay, and now I gotta watch out for that. Like, that can happen.
Present Zach thinks it's cool. Past Zach thought it was stupid and horseshit, but it's fine.
I can't go back and
But,
redo that. This is bullshit. Yeah.
God damn it. But yeah, no, it was a really good game. I had that on the list, but I think I just had to. I started like with a list of like 35 after I went through all the games. I'm like, okay, well, all right. But definitely worth checking out
Yeah.
for sure.
The aesthetic of the game, like
Yeah,
the whole world
that
building.
aesthetic, they didn't translate to Dishonored 2, where it was like a half painted world kind of.
Yeah.
The way that they did the art style in one is awesome.
Yeah, it had a really cool vibe.
Yeah, it was like
And-
all brush-stroked paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some weird about it. Like it touched the same part of my brain, like happy part of my brain, just like playing and experiencing it. That like, this is gonna sound weird, but like Fable, but only because of like I don't know, like the NPCs they were kind of characters. Like they had I don't know, they were kind of funny in a way, and like a little dopey sometimes, the guards and stuff like that, and it just gave me like the same, like a similar feeling, and there's just something about that type of world, right, where it at the same time feels super old but also like entirely alien. Like it's just cool.
And I think like to add on to what you said, like it feels like a world actually because you can just sit and like listen to guards talk to each other or mutter to themselves, and you go to
Yeah.
like a fucking ballroom and there's people constantly talking about stuff.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, they just did a really good job of like making an actual world that you're actually impacting with your actions.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
actually.
actually,
Yeah, I remember playing. I think like or I think you were playing at the same. Matt ends up being the one that plays games, but Deus Ex, the first one was it Human Revolution, where they had like a similar setup where you leave your house and you walk through sections of a city, right? And that game had it didn't have the same level of like the NPCs were just NPCs most of the time, and I just remember thinking like comparing them in my head because there was a period where games kind of came out, I think emulating that or having something similar. That it's just like Dishonored did it in a really cool way.
yeah.
What kind of top 10 is this? This is the top 10 of the decade.
Top 10 games of the decade. We each have our own list and we're going through them.
Oh yeah, that's my
Slowly
number
but
8.
surely.
Dishonored.
Oh shit! Then it's time for my number 7. Speaking of cool audio tricks, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Yo, Hellblade.
Yo, Hellblade. That's all you have to say to people
Didn't
who
make
played
it into
Hellblade.
my list.
Well, you know, it's fine.
Yeah,
I
I'll
had
be
to
honest.
make room for Guitar Hero Metallica. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
It it hurt me.
I mean, like it kind of made more of an impact. Guitar.
Yeah,
Hero
that's fine.
Metallica.
I'm just giving you shit.
You know, I will say it hurt me, but I did have Hellblade on my list, and then I replaced it with something else. But you know, the audio guy in me was blown away by the 3D sound stuff that they were doing. Insane to come out of a game with that like budget and stuff like that, and also like just the visuals and things like that too. Like super cool.
Yeah, I can't wait for the second one that just got a
I
trailer
know.
at the Game Awards.
It looks sick.
I thought it was like a music video at first for like some weird band or like I thought they were like announcing like some kind of like product or something because it just kind of like had that vibe of like screaming metal music or whatever. I don't even know what
Yeah.
you call it. You're the music experts, but and it's just like showing like random visuals, and it's like, is that Senua? Because you
Yeah.
can't like really tell for sure. It's like that kind of looks like her, but then
Wait,
again,
Is that
like oh,
hey?
Is that my girl?
Hey, you got some
that my
mental
girl?
problems? You look like you got some.
Are you dealing with trauma? You dealing with trauma?
get trauma. But then like they kept doing like the blood eagle thing and like runes and stuff. I'm like, I'm thinking this is Senua, and then
Yeah.
it was Senua.
Yeah, did you have the benefit of what's his face kind of setting it up a little bit too, or talking about it
I-
afterwards?
Don't remember. No, I don't think so. I didn't
Yeah.
get to see that part.
Yeah, because he was mentioning that like that's like kind of doubles as a graphic. It's gonna be that game's gonna be released on the PS5. So it's gonna be one of the first games on the PS5, and like that's what it looks like. It looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, I just legit thought it was like a music video at first. I'm like, oh wow, but
That's graphics.
yeah. The first one, Senua's Sacrifice, really good. We all enjoy the audio stuff. The combat was, I remember being like a slightly above average, I guess, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it had cool moments,
Yeah,
but
Had
it was
cool moments, but
definitely it was there because it had to be.
it wasn't the reason
Yeah.
why you're playing the game.
No, yeah, definitely not.
You're playing the game so that
I
you
did
can see
love to
runes and
yeet
figure it out.
motherfuckers off of the
bridge?
bridge.
Oh yeah, that bridge. Yeah, I
Like you
forgot
could
about
do cool stuff.
that. Mhm.
Yeah.
It was just a little
That was
jank.
really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think what was it? Yeah, like the end of the game where you guys figured out that you were just supposed to lose the battle right away, whereas I was like fighting people for like 20 plus minutes. Like, when
Mhm.
does it end? Please, God,
It doesn't.
make it stop. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, okay. Oh, I was supposed to lose. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just didn't catch the message in the game or whatever. I don't know.
Well, I transcribed runes and shit left around.
True.
hell-
Yeah, you did. You went. Yeah, you went hardcore.
I did some
on the rune
live
stuff 'cause you're,
Elder Futhark transcribing.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So I mean, it's cool they add that little detail to it too, where like you can just kind of nerd out on actual languages.
Oh, that
But
was so sick.
yeah, I think it's a very good game. Highly recommend you playing it if you have not played it yet. But you will also, I mean, maybe wait until after the winter is over so you don't kill yourself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Depression.
It's about
Yeah.
mental health.
But that's it for my number 7. What's
Mine?
yours?
Number 7. Okay, so I put this game here because it was really, really, really good, right? And out of all the other games that came out in the year that this game also had come out in, this year being this year, it was just, I feel like, I don't know, the most impressive. I picked Sekiro. Sekiro is my number 7, and I didn't even
I
play the
forgot
game.
about Sekiro.
I haven't
Oh my
touched
God.
the sticks on Sekiro, but that doesn't fucking matter, all right? Because literally, Matt and I, our team, I being research scholar man, and Matt being a master swordsman, all right, destroyed this game. Absolutely destroyed Sekiro.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. It was so when that type of game comes out and you're discovering stuff before the wikis know about it, or you're like, oh man, can we find anything? We can't even find anything. Nobody even knows about this thing. Or you read some cryptic shit in Reddit, and you gotta like figure out whether or not they're talking about the thing you're talking about, or if that's later, and like all that type of stuff. And then just trying to solve for all these variables and the way the game ends, and trying to get the right ending, and just like, and then strategy on how to play it and beat it. It's just a.
Yeah.
I put it at 7 only because I wasn't the one that played it, but it was an awesome game. It is an awesome game. It's like, I think, one of the best Souls-like games, best combat
yeah.
a Souls-like game. I think,
It's
in
up there with,
my opinion,
with Blood-Borne.
it's
It goes like Blood-Borne and Sekiro are almost tied, but I have to give it to Blood-Borne, then Sekiro, and then Dark Souls 3.
yeah, it's just a really good game.
I
Yeah.
think the only thing that kind of really dropped the ball with is that there's no DLC or even any mention of nothing. They have not.
No continuation. I mean,
Yeah.
they mentioned that there's something that happens, right? There's a story beat that is expected. Like they set it up, and we haven't gotten it yet, and I'm sad because
Yeah.
it's a heck of a game.
And
Had
there's like
the
a bunch of
coolest
cool
boss
shit in that
fights.
game. You can like explore like all kinds of crazy shit. Like the guy who knows how to summon lightning, you can go fight his teacher or something.
Yeah.
Or literally dozens of other things you could go further into. But especially since you can time travel too.
Yeah.
The game's weird. The game is definitely weird, but
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. I just again I had to cut the list down. But yeah, I really wish they had like some additional stuff,
Mhm.
anything,
Right.
because I got like through the good ending, I think the best ending or whatever, and then I was working on my second playthrough, and I was just working through the fire demon at the very end or whatever,
Mhm.
demon of hatred,
Yeah.
and I just kind of got like, okay, now I'm just gonna take a break, and then I never touched it again.
The game is like the game forces you to run on all cylinders when you're doing those harder boss fights. It's like
Yeah.
once you get good enough, all the minions like whatever, right? Like some of them can catch you every once in a
Yeah.
while because it's a Souls-like game, so it's it's expected. But
Mm-hmm.
the later bosses, you got to be perfect. Sometimes it's insane,
Mm-hmm.
which is so. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have been able to beat it in the same amount of time the map did. But I think my favorite moment in the entire game has to be the fucking gorilla.
Oh yeah, that was like
His
it was
animations,
almost like a plot twist.
yeah,
at the-
yeah, and like the whole thing with him, like how you can beat him if you do some specific shit, right?
Mhm.
And just like like just the way he moved, like I don't know, it was sick. It was so cool.
Yeah. That was really cool. I'm like, when you finally beat it, you're like, oh yeah, show that giant dumb ape. All right,
Nah, nah, nah.
wait. Oh god.
What if he was a
What's that?
centipede?
Oh god, get it away from me, please.
Is he holding his head?
Oh no.
It's fucked up, man. But it's cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my number 7.
My number 7. Well,
Do-do-do-do. Oh.
some would say that it ushered in the age of the roguelike. Is the Binding of Isaac.
Wow.
I was kind of hoping you would pick that game. I was gonna ask, but I'm like, no. I don't want to ruin it for myself.
No
But
spoils.
that game, incredibly, like influential on not only games but also our lives.
Yep.
You guys are some diehard Isaac heads for sure.
That was the first game we ever streamed.
Yep.
We were Isaac streamers.
Yeah, we were Isaac streamers. And, you know, shit. We fucked up by not streaming.
Yeah, if we continue streaming, there was a period where we had like 40 or 50 people watching us, like consecutively.
Mhm. We had Cobalt raids. Like,
yeah, we got raided by Cobalt before he was.
yeah,
big.
when he had like 100 people.
Yeah, like he like knew about us. I'm pretty sure he's forgotten about us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we
But yeah, fucking Isaac, dude. What can you say? It literally ushered in the whole new era of roguelike games.
Mhm.
That and Spelunky, but
yeah.
I think a lot like you wouldn't have Enter the Gungeon without Isaac. You wouldn't have
Definitely
not. Yeah.
FTL without Isaac.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Lots of other shit. Me and Coulter actually got into a fight one time about if FTL was like Isaac, and I was like, it's like Isaac, 100%.
There's rule.
And he's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, there's rooms.
We got to do a big
And
fight.
you have encounters, like the basic mechanics of the way you move through, like the progression is like Isaac for sure. Isaac was one of the first games that made me actually think. Yeah, I remember when I first played the game, dude. I sucked.
Oh, yeah, we all sucked.
real bad. Like flies were a problem.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
we're talking like OG Flash.
Yeah,
Isaac.
the original Isaac. It's crazy.
I
It's
mean-
crazy how just like kind of crappy that game was, but it was still so awesome.
Yeah, it just had a really cool concept, and people enjoyed the art. And then it's the only game that Evie plays, so it's got to speak to something.
I remember being totally blown away that every item that you picked up changed your appearance.
Yeah, and
I
like,
just
pretty cool,
remember
too.
thinking, that's nuts, dude. That's so fucking nuts.
and then it kind of ruins you because then like when you play games,
Yeah, when
later,
you play other games, I don't know, fucking like other games that are way more higher budget, and nothing happens.
yeah, oh, you change your
Yeah.
sword or something like that in the game, but your guy who's playing, he just has the same sword. You're like, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't
great.
couldn't have done this one thing.
Mm-hmm. Isaac did it.
You made a PNG for this sword. Make it a sword. No excuse.
God damn it.
But yeah, Isaac is my number 7.
Yeah, and like the synergies, it's just so
It
so
like
cool.
it literally
Yeah.
Like the classic
Super
synergies.
influential.
What was your favorite classic synergy? Can you remember?
Probably, I don't know, dude. Laser and damage ups, where you had like the giant laser and the OG Flash. Your laser would grow depending on damage.
Oh yeah, it'd be like whoa, whoa, whoa,
It would be like you could fill the
size
whole room
with your laser.
with the laser.
It was
Jeez.
nuts. It just got bigger and bigger. Was Polly in the original?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do that to get the big drops or whatever and make your laser even bigger. It was insane.
Oh, jeez.
Like
That
just
sounds a little OP.
the level that Edmund McMillan went with. Oh yeah, no, yeah, this'll combo. Don't worry, this'll change. Yeah,
Don't sweat.
it's gonna look cool, or it's gonna break your entire shit, and it might not work. But that's part of what makes it fun.
Yeah, that's part of Isaac, baby.
Yeah.
Rolling the dice. So that brings me to my my number 6, which is the only MMORPG that I've played a lot of. Final Fantasy, fuck you. Final
Sorry.
Fantasy 14.
That was just me playing Final Fantasy 14.
You know, okay.
The 10
okay.
minutes that you played.
So
No, we played for hours.
yeah. So
Or at least it felt like it.
rant aside.
That's like 10 minutes in Final Fantasy 14 times.
Yeah. Rant aside
game is
about
long.
how hard it is to start playing that game. Did you hear about the new stuff that's coming out for that game?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
you
of
excited?
course.
Are you going to play it?
No. Because not because sorry. It's just I don't want to I'm trying to like balance my time and I'm trying to like focus more on fighting games and stuff, and I've had like come to like a decision. I'm like,
You got to come
can't
to
really play
Jesus.
this right now.
Yeah.
Can't really make time for this anymore, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
yeah, don't go into it now. Don't play the game yet. Maybe if
Yeah,
you're
they're
really,
apparently going to rehaul a lot of that shit.
they're rehauling the main story, so it's cut in half, so it's not
Again.
as long, and you get more. Again,
Did you say that they had like lowered the amount of stuff like by a ton when they
no,
when
they
they
were
did?
going through.
They were
the
still in the
planning on
process.
that.
I thought they'd already done that
Yeah.
and that they were doing it again. Okay, cool.
No. They're working on it currently, but yeah. So my tips to new players is if you really want to get into it and you don't want to like, I don't know, wait until they cut the main story in half. Wait until preferred worlds come out in the server that you want to go to. Make a character on that so you get like what was like a 50% XP boost permanently until like level 70 or something. And then wait, just have your characters sit and just wait until the main story gets cut in half. And then you do that. And then yeah, it's it's just it's kind of like a victim of its own design, where basically the first Final Fantasy 14 sucked, nobody liked it, so they literally destroyed it and made Final Fantasy Realm Reborn like a year or two later, and they were thinking that they just wanted to like have like a good story to play first and to kind of go through that. Well, the main story continued on. They had like couple like in between like expansion packs or whatever,
Right.
and so you get like the first 100 quests leads you into the first expansion, which is a lot, and a lot of them is you just going from one town to the other to talk to a different person.
Yeah.
And
Which is like,
sometimes
why?
yeah, and sometimes the next quest is you walking back to the previous town to talk to the person you talked to in the previous quest.
Yeah, that was super
there's a
fun,
lot of-
dude. Just like a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
didn't kill anything until like 2 hours in. It was fucking fun.
Yeah.
We didn't leave like
There's
the town.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's a bold design decision to have you talk to people for 2 hours before you actually get to even see an enemy.
Yeah. I mean that's all. It's like partially a gripe that I mean, a similar type of thing with World of Warcraft where. When you first start out, there's all this stuff in place to make the beginning of the game go by as quickly as possible. Like if people have to do that, then maybe rethink it.
Yeah, it's definitely like a huge slog at the beginning for sure. felt like Pokemon Sun in here.
Yeah, where in the first like 10 hours of Pokemon Sun, it's just like a slog of tutorial.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, they stretch out the beginning of that game
Yeah.
immensely.
But well, once you get past the first 100 quests or whatever, so once you get past all that, it's just like it's basically a giant fan fiction of all the Final Fantasy games together. Like you got summons from Final Fantasy VII that you're fighting. You got Gunblades from Final Fantasy VIII. And when I was playing like the Gunbreaker class, which is the class that uses the Gunblades. It's pretty cool. It's pretty sick. It's got really cool story quest and like class quests and whatnot. Not counting the ones where you're just talking between towns or whatever.
After you get past all the riffraff.
Well, it's like big quest, riffraff for like 10 quests, big quest, riffraff for like 10 quests. But I don't know. I just really enjoy it. Like it's the only MMORPG is like, yeah, I can get here. And I got to level 75 with my Gunbreaker, which is 5 below the max level. So I think in the fist cake terms of like staying with the game, that's probably like the most I've stayed with the game ever. So
Yeah.
but
I got you.
I will say after spending all that time, wait a little bit longer. And then once they cut the story mode in half, or story quest in half, get in there. Get in there and wreck shit. Get in there and just mess it all up.
Yeah, I think the thing that really I'm speaking just for myself, but like the way that you talk about the game is now, and even like when we were first like deciding to try out the game, sounds totally different than what I went in and then got as like the beginning. And so it was like this, like, wait, is this even the same game that Fiske was talking about? And it's like, it really is that big of a difference. It's like the beginning really is just a bunch of BS. And then it's like they made that part of the game and then they're like, all right, now we're going to make the stuff we actually kind of want to make.
Yeah,
and then
and
just
then
never got
forgot
rid of
about
that shit in the beginning. And it's like,
Yeah.
because I want all that shit, right? Like the weird mishmash of all the different Final Fantasy stuff and the Gunblade stuff. It's like sick, and you got chocobos, and you have all these cities, and they all have like a special identity associated with them, and all like it's like a lot of really cool stuff. But man, the road there is long, and not having seen the destination, it's like, does it exist? Is it a myth? Yeah.
It also has triple triad. I forgot to say that.
It has triple triad, like,
Yeah.
which is like the best mini game of all time.
Yeah, it's
Did
definitely.
it make your list?
It didn't come out in that.
But,
Anyway, if there was a standalone release of triple triad, you know.
well, that's my number 6. So.
My number 6,
Oh. A woo woo.
fucker, is Blood-Borne.
Oh.
Blood-Borne
Nice.
made my list,
Really?
and let me tell you why. It's
Okay.
got the coolest, like, vibe of any of the Souls games. The blood stuff, the Cthulhu shit, I'm all about it. I love it, right? And it
That is your shit.
It was probably one of the the funnest stream experiences I've ever had. Streaming Blood-Borne the way we did. We streamed for like long periods of just us on a couch, and we just had these marathons of us playing Blood-Borne, and we like,
It was me and Coulter and D and
yeah,
you.
it's just, I don't know, it's like it holds a special place because of that insane.
Well, you
stream
took
that
my
we
number
did.
5, so that's cool.
Oh, well, I didn't know it was your number 5, dude. But like,
I should have gone first, so this wouldn't have prevented this. But
yeah, but I mean,
Prevent
you know,
last one either.
it's just it's a great game, and so I wasn't like super good at it, right? But in my defense, D
No.
was surprisingly good at it. I don't know, at
Wild
the
card.
time it was like, oh shit, I'm doing worse than D, right? Like whatever, right? But now I'm like, you know what? Sick.
Good for D.
Like Dee was doing pretty good. She was staying calm. She didn't allow the 3 boys to make her think that she wasn't good at the game. You know?
No, but because we were focusing on making you feel bad about the game.
Yeah. You know, which is fine. I'll take that because that's kind of like my role sometimes. Whatever. But like, it was a sick time. We had a ton of inside jokes. Checking Bell, where you at? We ended up finding strats and like creating things that we then posted online, and then someone else said, hey, no, we came up with that, and then we looked and actually our video came out before theirs, and so like we didn't steal their idea.
Yeah, we
originated a strat.
Yeah, we came up with the first ever cheese strat
for Mikolash.
Oh.
Yeah.
At least documented.
Yeah. Afterwards, speedrunners came up with a more efficient one that didn't require 2 players, but ours, if you had 2 players, you would interrupt.
We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah. We came up with something, and it was sick, and it was like an absolute cheese, and you could just destroy Mikolash no problem as long as you had 2 players. But because his shit was annoying, chasing him around. But yeah, and I don't know, it's a really cool game, and I like the way that you could get like the different endings you could get, and the Cthulhu stuff was cool. I'm all about I like Cthulhu stuff, and yeah, I put it as my number 6. I put it over Sekiro because I actually played it, and we had that amazing stream time with it, and yeah, Blood-Borne.
My number 6 is the new God of War.
Oh, fuck.
God of War.
I completely
Now
forgot.
that's a game.
Wait,
That is a game.
Fisk goes, oh shit! Wait, can I bump something?
Wait. Oh, God. Honorable mentions.
Add it to your list, dude. I was doing that all last night. I'm like, oh fuck this game. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, God of War, like,
Oh my God, yeah.
almost made it on my list. Legit, almost made it on my list.
It's the same situation as Sekiro, where I
You're
was
talking
playing.
about the PlayStation 2 one, right?
Huh?
You're talking about the PlayStation 2 God of War?
Yeah, dude, that one.
I think that was 2009,
boy.
so that might have worked. But, yeah, no,
Except
the
in that
new
game,
one,
it's father or some shit. I don't know. Never played it. I played a little bit. I
No,
remember there was
yeah,
tits in the beginning of the game. I just,
Yeah, from the Sirens, I think.
yeah, in your bed or whatever.
Yeah,
dude-
no, the new God of War is fucking sick as a hell, dog.
Dude, it's so good.
Boy.
Boy.
The storytelling,
Boy.
the action.
The one cut.
Yeah, like it felt seamless, moving between areas and shit like that.
Man. And then your whole
Learning the Elder Futhor.
rival.
Oh yeah, the Elder Fruithart came in handy there too. Like, yeah, yeah, that was cool.
Fighting
Who
the
was
dragons.
The guy that you fought all the time.
Balder.
Yeah, Baldur.
Baldur, yeah. That was just like having a fun rival type of person.
Yeah, it was so cool the way they did that too, because your first battle with him, he like destroys you, right? And then later
Yeah.
you fight him again, and like the relationship with your son has grown, and so you guys are like 2 halves of like a fighting force. And he was like calling shit out to you, and you were like, like it was like you were a team. And I was like, I was so happy to see a boy grow up and become a real fighter. It was
He's
cool.
a real boy.
Like the way they did the father son thing has been talked about 1,000 times, but they did it extremely well. The characterization growth was insane. And then the reveal at the end,
also-
and I'm not even sure if I feel
Yeah.
comfortable even saying, but the ending was pretty cool.
Well, knowing Kratos, he's probably going to find some way to fuck that up too. He's just really good at really
He didn't fuck
fucking with
things
it.
up in new one.
He was just incredibly
Well-
stubborn. That's all. He's incredibly stubborn about things.
He's just really good at fucking up God's plans, like the God's plans. Is what I'm saying. He's not like
Oh, if there's a prophecy,
Sometimes.
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, oh, like he's gonna
It's not
fuck
like
it
he
up.
made
Like he's gonna
anything
screw
bad.
up somehow.
no. He's
No, he
probably
gets
just gonna,
shit
like,
done. He just makes the decision to.
Yeah. Yeah, and like more on Baldur, I just thought it was really a very smart choice or very good choice to make an enemy that Kratos can't kill because he's like just a giant wrecking machine. He's like, oh, I
Yeah.
killed you, but you don't die. Oh, God, oh, what the? Oh, jeez. What do I do now,
Boy?
Bowie? Boy, what do I do?
Boy, whoa, this is fucked up.
Boy, I don't know how to kill this man.
I've cleaned
First
out
time.
all the other pantheons of the Greeks, anyways.
Yeah. Can't kill this dude? Oh, wait. He's literally unkillable. Yeah.
Yeah,
super
why didn't the
sick.
Greeks think of that? Why don't we have an immortal god?
Why didn't they dip him fully inside the shit? Or no, that's
That was
Achilles.
Achilles.
They did try it.
Yeah.
They just fucked it up.
Yeah, his mom fucked it up. Women, am I right?
She didn't do a full job. She
Heyo.
did a half-ass job.
And that's
Okay.
my number 6.
All right. That means my number 5 is Resident Evil 2 Remake. Make.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I couldn't decide. It took me a while to decide between Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed Resident Evil 7. I especially enjoyed the DLC where you played as fucking Uncle Joe punching through swamp things. That was really cool, but
Not the Chris Redfield one?
Huh?
Not the Chris Redfield one?
No, I didn't care. I mean, it was there. It was okay, but it was just like Resident Evil 7 on steroids. Like, okay, I mean, killing more zombos. All right.
Yeah, the part where Resident Evil 7 kind of was shit. It's like, what if we made like a whole little DLC about that? And you're like, I don't think that was very smart.
Mm. Yeah.
What
Like,
if you
you
kill
know what? They want more of the boat.
Yeah. More on the boat, more of a, just molded or whatever. But I just really enjoyed Resident Evil 2 because it, besides like being like a remake and obviously updating the first Resident Evil 2, it's just, but they did a really good job with all the zombies. The zombies were really cool, like how they reacted to pretty much in any way, shape, or form. Like if you shoot them in a certain spot, they reacted. If you like ran away, you can like kind of trick them. And then like later on, you have to like, well, you always had to like destroy their head, otherwise they might come back later.
Yeah.
And then fucking Mr. T, Project T, Mr. X.
Yeah.
But I forgot his name
X
for a
gonna
second.
give it to you.
Yeah. The joke that everybody made on YouTube when they LP that series,
And
including
then someone
me.
made a mob. Yep.
Yep. He was a very, very terrifying enemy. And it's just really, it's really cool to see like speedrunners like figure out the game. Like somebody figured out there's like actually 2 Mr. X's always present.
Oh,
Like one takes one side of the building and the other one takes the other side of the building or whatever.
oh shit.
And that's how like he tracks you quicker. And like it was to the point like where they accidentally activated both, I think, if I remember correctly, and they showed up. He's like, "What the? Oh god!" But
XX gonna give it to you.
When an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, what happens?
oh god. But I'm doubly excited for Resident Evil 3, considering how good they did with Mr. X and that. Whereas Nemesis is a
He's more
Resident
aggro.
Evil he's more out. He runs. He shoots guns. He tackles. He goes through
Hates
walls.
stars. Just
He
hates
hates
them.
stars. Now has a nose so he can sniff you out.
Oh yeah.
It's just
I mean,
all terrifying.
he sniffs sideways, but he still sniffs.
Yeah,
and
he
that's
still
important.
sniffs. He still sniffs. I saw that. I was like, oh, well, we'll see how that looks like end game. I guess it just looks ridiculous on the cover. But back to Resident Evil 2, you have all that. Then you have like the cool additional free DLC or whatever, where you play like the stories of like other characters going through the Resident Evil 2 story.
Yeah.
That's really fun. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed playing the crap out of that game. I played a lot of it. It's really fun. But since we're got to go quicker, that's it for me. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Number 5. Bioshock Infinite.
Ooh.
This game, like, I don't know if people playing Bioshock Infinite now will have the same experience as when it first came out and people played it, because like the way that they built up the story and the world building and the vibe, right, was just to an extreme level. And then the eventual like reveal at the end, after they feed you all this false information, I don't know. I feel like I don't need to say much about it. It's Bioshock Infinite. It's already been lauded like a ton, but it really is like a massive game. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I could. Again, Matt played, I experienced, but that game, granted, you don't play it for like the gun combat or anything like that, because that was a noted bad part of the game.
I wouldn't
Specifically,
say bad. It was
one
serviceable.
level. There was one level that was extremely difficult because of it. But yeah, it got you through, right? It was a vehicle. But the game itself, storyline, the characters, and
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, and like at the time the graphics, and when you first enter Colombia, just all these things, people singing Beatles and stuff like that. It's just it's super sick. It's like an experience. It's a really good game. And even though I didn't even play it the first time, I don't know that I can go back and play it now and have like the same feeling.
No, probably not. No.
Yeah, it's like a very singular, like, because now that I know I don't know, the way everything ends up, right? It's like there are some really good movies like that too, where once you know the twist or whatever, you could watch it again, so maybe you could test yourself to see when, you know, all the different signs that are telling you, right? But beyond that, it's like it's kind of a singular experience in a way.
And all the DLC that tied it to the rest of the Bioshocks.
There's only 2.
Yeah, all of them.
Beneath the Sea 1.
All 2 of them.
Yeah, all 2 of them. I don't know.
I don't know. The way you said it, was like, and they had like a ton of DLC. I was like, well, the 2?
All 30 DLCs. No.
Packaged into 2 packages, 15 each.
Yeah, they never go on sale. My number 5 is Blood-Borne.
Whoa.
Just a sick game.
Yeah.
Dude,
It has the most matte weapon.
it's kind of like become your
Canes.
identity in Souls games ever since.
Yeah.
The cane whip,
Yeah, the cane whip.
which
Too bad you
requires
can't have
Which-
two,
I carried with me through that whole game. People on the stream was like, why are you still using the cane whip? I don't like any other weapons. This is my baby. Okay?
If I let go of it now, I'm a coward, okay?
yeah, you
won't let go.
beat the game with it. And honestly, that's like a Matt thing to do, right? We were talking about, and I'm sure we mentioned it like one of the few times that we were talking about Kingdom Hearts, but you beat the first Kingdom Hearts with the original Keyblade.
Yeah.
But that was just because you didn't know.
I didn't know,
But even then,
but I did it.
but you did it, right?
Forgot about that.
Here it was like a decision,
Yeah.
kind of half out of defiance, but
Well,
also
no,
half
I
out
didn't
of just,
like it. I
you just-
didn't like
it
any of
was
the other weapons.
sick. Yeah,
But, I mean, plus the cane whip combo was awesome. I loved it.
It's pretty sick. I think I was like the Bloodsaw person. Or no, I got
Yeah,
the
you-
Kirk hammer at some point. That was pretty cool.
oh
The
yeah.
hammer sword.
Yeah.
I never finished the game, so I'll never know for sure. What
It doesn't
my
feel like there was a
favorite
lot
weapon
of. Maybe it's because you guys didn't switch weapons very much, but it didn't feel like that there was a lot of different weapons in that game.
No, it wasn't supposed to. You had trick weapons, so
You had trick weapons that kind of like
doubled as different ones. So
Mhm.
you had like 10 or 12 or 15 or so weapons you got to choose from.
was. Yeah.
And then in Sekiro, they're like, you get one, bitch.
No, but you get your side weapons, man. Come on.
That
yeah.
are not useful
arm
at
turns
all.
That you go through the same process every time you
Oh, this
fight
is
a boss.
new. I'm going to try it on the boss. I'll just fight him.
In the end, you just end up
Oh,
just
I
using your
wasted my-
sword. Usually because
Yeah.
you ran out of shit to use your trick, your thing anyways, and so you
Yeah.
just have to.
But yeah, that's my number 5.
And that means we're on to number 4. And mine is Yakuza 6. I had a hard time deciding between 0 and 6 because 0 is a really good way to get into the entire series. And it's a lot of fun. And the story's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool. I really like it. But Yakuza 6 is kind of like a good way to finish Kiryu's story. And it's also like a very cool upgrade on the whole fighting system and all the other cool stat stuff that you had to work with before.
Well, they had 6 games to iterate.
Yeah, well, 7 technically, but yeah. 0 through 6, but what was I gonna say? No, it's just a really, really fun way to send off Kiryu, and I mean, it's just a really cool Yakuza game. But Brain fart. No, I mean that's pretty much it. It's just really cool, updated combat, good story. Yeah, that's my number 4.
And if you think that there's going to be a fist cake list and Yakuza's not going to be on it, you're sorely mistaken.
Oh, you don't know my man.
No, you're lucky I didn't put 0 and 6 on there. So
Or
it's just
Kiwami.
Or Kiwami, yeah. Kiwami's pretty good, but I like, yeah. Oh God, don't get me started. Don't.
I gotta shift some stuff.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Yakuza, it's a good game. Good games. We're doing number 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim. I had to do it. It feels like a normal pick.
It did not make my list. It wasn't even in the mentions.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I put 100 hours into that game.
I didn't put Fallout New Vegas on here. I couldn't put Fallout 3 on here. I had to put Skyrim on here because
Ain't no goddamn way I'm putting Fallout 4 on any list.
ain't no way Fallout 4 is going on there. Ain't no way 76 is going on there. And Skyrim, I haven't even beat the game. I never got around to doing it because I just fucked around all the time. And but it was still like a great time. It's a good sandbox game, right? Sure, the dungeons suck. It's the same dungeon every time practically, right? It's just a bunch of Draugr, and then you clear it out, and you're like, okay, why were there flame torches in here before I even got here? That's weird. I'm not gonna question it. But it didn't do some stuff that the other games did better, like in Oblivion.
RPG.
Yeah, in Oblivion, I feel like was the ultimate RPG experience.
I think a lot of people.
I think a lot of people would say Morrowind, but I think like Oblivion was like a really good mixture of things. Anyways, but
Man.
Skyrim, great game, a lot of fun. You could take a ton of different routes if you wanted to. You could take them all if you had enough time, and it's Skyrim.
It's pretty legit.
Well, my number 4 blows all of your guys' out of the water.
Ah.
Okay.
It's Prey.
Prey.
Oh yeah.
Honorable mentions. I forgot about Prey. That was a sick game. Like the redo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Not
original was not very good.
Not the first one.
No.
But yeah, that was a really
Everything
good game.
about Prey, 2017, I think,
Yeah.
is just I loved it, all of it, every single bit of it.
Yeah, the story was great.
I didn't know I loved immersive sims until Prey. Now I crave them.
I completely forgot about it, and I even played that new shit that came out with it, where you play on the moon as like different characters.
Moon crackers or moon crashers or
Yeah.
Something like that.
moon landing or on the moon roguelite.
I think it's that one, on the moon roguelike. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the title.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Not
no,
an
that's a really
FTL
good game.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like just I don't know if we want to talk about like the ending at all, but that was really
Yeah,
cool.
it was a mind fuck ending. It was super good. I loved
Yeah.
everything about it.
Yeah, it was a great game.
That's my number 4. Play Prey.
Number 3.
Number 3 for me is Devil May Cry 5. 5. Nailed it. Because of the cool action in Devil May Cry 5, that's why I choked. I choked hardcore.
No, it's because your body wanted to say 4, but then it couldn't, so it had to say 5.
I only played like a half hour. I have 4. I still have yet to play more than like a half hour of 4. 'Cause
That's
I'd
crazy,
rather
actually,
rather
yeah.
play 5 than 4. But yeah, no, it's just a really, really good action game, and it's a really good kind of like ending to the Dante and Virgil saga, kind of. I mean, I'm sure they'll probably come back at some point or something, but I think they're trying to make Nero and everybody else kind of like the new faces going forward. But yeah, it's basically like a giant love letter to Devil May Cry fans everywhere. It's just like it has all the cool parts of Dante set up. They made Nero a badass with his various arms and shit. V's there. V's pretty cool. He had a cool concept, but it was kind of like at a certain point you're just like holding 4 buttons at the same time.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got
yeah.
over his shit pretty quick.
Yeah, while you're trying to like just walk around, read a poetry book while you're summoning your cat and bird
Mm-hmm.
to go to go dice people and shoot lasers and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice break in between like doing all the cool Dante styles and the Nero arms. You know, it's just nice to like just hold 4 buttons and win. That's all. It was just nice change of pace.
I'm seeing a trend here of Fistcake appreciating good endings to eras.
It's out with the old, in with the new, baby. Fucking 2020. Let's start new shit. Start over. It's just really good, and I need to play through the Bloody Palace DLC. I actually need to reinstall the game for me to do that. There's so many games. Oh god, there's so many games. So many fucking games. But oh god, it never ends. But it's just really, really enjoyable, and you could play that forever if you wanted to. Like if you just wanted to do cool style stuff. I remember it was like blowing up on Twitter when it came out for like a month or so. People trying to figure out new cool combos.
Yeah.
Like what moves do what. Like, oh, this has like an invincibility property, so you can do that, jump into this, and then do Dante. They were treating like a fighting game, but just like against enemies. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But
I saw that a few times.
that's it for my number 3. Do.
My number 3 is Heavy Rain.
Okay.
Heavy
Jason.
Rain didn't come out in the 2010s. Did it?
Yeah, it came out in 2010.
Yeah.
I didn't
Heavy
see it in
Rain.
the list.
Is
We're old.
a game that when I saw that Heavy Rain came out in 2010, I literally ignored all the other games that came out in 2010. It is an amazing game. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and it holds a special place in my heart.
It's his top 10. It's his top 10.
No, I mean I have the same feelings about it, but
In all of its like jank and shit doesn't like is
Makes
like not
sense.
fair a lot, or you
At
can
all.
just you can just do shit sometimes, and other times you just fail them. But regardless of all of it, just the entire experience of playing the game, I remember I played and beat it in like a couple of sittings the first time, and it was just a great time. It's a wild ride, and I fucked up everything in the first time that I played it. Like the ending of it, I didn't get
Yeah.
anything right. I screwed up that entire ending of that game. I got the right guy in the end, right? Like I figured out who the real person was, but everything else was the worst way it could have possibly gone.
you
And it
literally
was-
missed so many QTEs.
At the end, I choked on everything. I was doing so well. Like after a while, I'd gotten the rhythm and stuff. And then there's like a bike scene that like I just you're on a motorcycle or whatever, and I just messed it all up.
Yeah.
But like even then, it was like it was
You
still
killed
awesome.
Nom and Jaden because you missed the QTEs while he's on
Nom
the
and Jaden.
while he's on the conveyor belt.
Yeah, I messed up in his fight or whatever, and
Yeah.
I remember like I wasn't that far away from just totally winning.
Mm-hmm.
I just like I fucked up the end of it basically. But so many just batshit things in that game. Like, why does this guy have like this VR like AR vision stuff? This crazy technology that exists in this world for this one person. Nobody else has it.
Yeah.
He
He has
just
to like take drugs to keep
yeah
it
he has to
all
take
together
drugs
or
for it.
something.
But yeah, and the idea of the game, I think it was, it might have been the first time I ever played a game, and like played it and beat it and everything. That forced you that once you made a choice, that was it. It autosaved, and even if you closed out from the shit, it was already too late. Like it forced you to accept the consequences of what you did,
Yeah.
and that
Like,
was
oh,
it
fuck
was
you.
awesome. It was awesome. Heavy Rain's an amazing game.
It's a very enjoyable game. I still think it's bullshit that it was the detective or whatever.
Oh,
'Cause
just
there's, like,
give
no
it
way-
away.
It's
But
10
yeah.
years old.
Yeah, but like also you're like playing as the bad guy.
Well, yeah, that's cool, but it'd been cooler if like there was like even a hint that it was you, like you were the bad
there's
guy.
hints.
But no, they kind of like all the parts where you are
They do
doing
cut
stuff.
out. Yeah, they do cut out the parts where
Oh yeah, yeah,
He's-
that's true.
He's actually doing the crimes.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
just like,
yeah, you don't get to see any of it. Yeah,
Yeah. It's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, yeah, you get the, like, later on, you get the hints that he's, like, the brother of whatever or something like that. But when you're playing as him, there's, like, they deliberately cut out scenes so you don't see what he did.
right.
Like, obviously, you can't show the full scene or anything, but it would have been nice if there's, like, some kind of hint or something.
Right, like something to give you like a way. That's not right about this. I can see that.
But,
That makes sense. I
but-
got you. Yeah,
But, you know.
it is kind of one of those where like it was him the whole time. Here's how all of these pieces fit together that you couldn't have possibly have unless you
No.
guessed. Yeah.
David.
Cage. Come on.
Jason.
But yeah, it was.
Oh, God.
I mean, and that game opened me up to all of those other games, and yeah, just Heavy Rain was great. It was the weirdest thing. We just kind of picked it up. I don't even know why we even grabbed it. Like
Yeah, I don't remember either.
we just ended up having it. It was awesome.
Man. It's a good game.
Yeah. What's my number 3?
My number 3
Ooh.
is Hades.
Oh, shit. You act like you've been playing a lot of that game or something.
Yeah, dude. As like, and then like the list, like top 3. That's just like that's my actual top 3 out of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
In the last 10 years, the top 3 has
No, like
No, I'm saying like
Oh,
in the last 10 years, the top 3 games you've ever
yeah,
played.
a lot of games got bumped. Used to be Pokemon Crystal. Now it's probably 4.
I got you.
But
Dude, Hades is great.
literally, like my favorite roguelite of all time.
And like I'm actually like I feel bad because the playing the game like almost from the very beginning like you were is the ultimate way to play that game, because at first you just have like this limited section, and then as they're adding stuff to the game, what the characters say changes and morphs, and so you get this full experience of the game being
Yeah, they really-
designed and released as you're playing it.
Yeah, they designed like the dialogue and everything like that to flow organically with the things, and a lot of this stuff is going to get taken out.
Yeah, like you've heard stuff that nobody else is going to hear. Like,
Yeah.
in the final release, like they've recorded lines just special just for the version of the game that you're playing, and then when they release something else, that gets replaced.
If you're a clever lad,
Cool.
you can make YouTube videos of all the dialogue differences between all the characters.
Sure, somebody
the
probably
footage
already
you have.
has, but that's a good idea.
I mean, if you do it quicker.
But that's
Just get
my
them all
number
right-
3.
right- But,
Buy Hades. It's on
Cowards.
Steam now,
Yeah, it just
which I'll
recently-
probably buy it again on Steam.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
dude, you know Matt likes a game when he buys a
Double
game
dipping.
twice
Double dipping.
just to
Double dipping,
support it.
dog. Call him
Yeah.
double dipping dots, dog.
It's gonna be like one of the most well designed like
Yeah,
combat
dude,
systems.
it's just everything about it is fucking good. The aesthetic is good, the art is good,
The characters?
fucking characters are good, freaking upgrades are good, everything is good, everything about it is good. It's not even good, it's actually
music's
great.
good?
Music is great, everything is great. You got a doggo, you got 3 heads, you got a dad that's kind of a dick.
But you have like a repartee.
Yeah, how many capes you gonna burn? So good, so good. When you beat the
Buy
game,
Hades
he's like,
now.
"Oh, Zagreus stepped on a rake and killed himself."
The narrator's great.
You're like, "All right, I guess that's how I died." And then Hypnos is like, "How'd you get here? I thought you won." So good.
Yeah. Very good.
Well, then that goes to my number 2, which is
Number 2.
Persona 5.
Oh, Persona 5's number 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the fucking what do you
You're
call
not
it?
gonna guess the number 1. You're never gonna guess my number 1. I didn't think it was gonna make it, but it just barely made the.
I didn't even think it
cutoff
was gonna
time.
make it, but it stuck it out, man.
Well, it really had me in the first half, but no. Persona 5.
The
just,
upset. Yeah, the upset of Persona 5 being number 2. That's crazy.
Persona 5 is an amazing game. I had a hard time between choosing that or Persona 4 Golden because Persona 5, it's newer, obviously, and it just does it's a little bit cooler in style and whatnot, and it has better music. But I enjoy all the colors of Persona 4 Golden. I love the setting, where it's just like a quiet little foggy town. You're just trying to solve mysteries. But Persona 5's got that fucking cool ass shit. You're all a bunch of kids. You're all fucking be giving the finger to society because adults are fuck. They're all cowards and they must have their hearts stolen so you can fix them. And
the fucking jazzy music, dude.
Yeah, the fucking jazzy music, and everybody's wearing cool masks, and they go by code names and shit. And then, you know, all the confidants are really cool. You have like a gun shop owner where somehow your toy guns turn into real guns in the metaverse, but it's whatever. You fight God. You fight a god, excuse me. Shoot him right in the head with a giant gun, the biggest gun in the world. It's just a really cool RPG game. In general, I mean, that's it. I mean, if you know Persona games, it's just a really good Persona game. And Persona 5 Royale will be really cool to check out, but I'll probably wait till that's on sale or something.
Nah, I'm buying it day one.
Okay, that's do you,
man.
Well,
yours is number 2. Mine is number 1.
Oh, shit, dude.
Well, this just in.
Oh, God. Spoiler alert.
Number 1.
That's it for my number 2. On to you.
So I will say, Persona 5, great game. All right, one of the best games. I have played a good. I wouldn't even say good. I played past the first, palace or whatever, right? So it's not on my list, but I recognize that it probably should be. But my number 2 is Tales of Berseria.
Oh shit!
Which is another RPG game, and it's number 2.
I asked this motherfucker last night if he put Tales on there,
and I said wait till tomorrow. I didn't tell him if it was on there or like where it was at. Right? No, but Tales of Berseria, like out of all the the JRPGs that I played, it's the one that I've beaten, and it's the one that I have sunk the most time into and got the most involved in the combat.
It's also the one where you miss the most amount of chests.
And okay, so I've been meaning to talk to you about this, right, Matt? Because someone brought this up one time and it makes so much sense. All right, actually, we've already had this conversation, right? The person playing the game and streaming is going to miss things.
I was also streaming.
I know, but you're not playing, so you're going to notice stuff, right? And I'm just saying your anger at me for missing stuff is a little misplaced, but it did happen a fucking ton, so I understand a little bit. But overall, like the combat is like one of the coolest JRPG combat systems when it comes to like active combat. Wow. You can do some cool shit. I didn't even spend nearly as much time as I could have, like actually min-maxing my team, and I was already like killing it. Most encounters I got first try, super quick. There's only a few encounters that really gave me like trouble in the game, and the storyline is just insane. And the characters, I loved all the characters.
Very likable.
Yeah, like they're just enough of like archetype and like originality where they're like a person, and like I don't know.
The only bad part about that game is that last dungeon.
The last dungeon
actually sucks.
It overstayed its welcome. It was too long, and there's
literally nothing you can do to speed it up. And that's just the dungeon.
There wasn't a good enough reason for it. Like nothing happens in the dungeon really.
Yeah.
It's just long. I think it's supposed to be this thing where it's like the end of the game's coming soon, so whatever you got to be doing. But you had this marathon that you got to run through, and it's like a giant puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, like, so many things happened. Like Laphicet was my man.
She was great.
Matt had a joke going on for the entirety of the stream that he called Laphicet a girl. And still holds to it to this day. But or Laffy as we know him in the game. But like his whole storyline was awesome, and it's cool that like the main character had a big hand in everything. Of course, she also had a big hand. But Laphicet was like this central thing.
Anchor.
Yeah, that was it was just cool to see that like the main character wasn't the prophecy necessarily, right? It wasn't like the main thing, but you were just kind of like another piece and kind of making all this stuff happen. And just the whole storyline of I don't know, just it was really good. It was one of my favorite games, and yeah, I liked it a lot.
Quick lightning round question.
Mm.
Which one was worse, the last dungeon of Tales of Berseria or the boat dungeon in Persona 5?
Oh, definitely Berseria.
Zaria,
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, it was really that bad.
Okay. All right. Well, shit. All
Yeah.
right.
I actually didn't mind that boat dungeon.
I just think it kind of killed not the timing. What is
Momentum?
It? The flow. Yeah. The momentum.
Yeah.
For sure.
To give you like an idea of how long this dungeon was, it took us more than one stream.
Oh shit.
Yeah. With this one dungeon, like it was. I remember coming back to the dungeon and being like, I don't even remember where we're gonna go.
Fuck,
This sucks,
here we go
dude.
again.
We're just lost. Yeah.
All right. I just had to know because I hated that boat mission, but all right.
But yeah, no, super sick game. Just the way that they like flipped the whole main character thing, kind of. You're like,
Yeah, and even the bad guy wasn't like that. He was gray.
yeah. It
At least mostly morally.
starts out like, oh, this is a bad guy, and you know, oh, you know, and everything. And then everything just becomes more and more gray, and you're like, oh fuck, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's fucking nuts.
awesome. Tales of Berseria.
My second game, number 2,
Doo-doo.
is The Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Last of Us, so
I
good.
love
game.
Ellie. I love Joel. I love them all. Fuck those doctors. I shoot them again. I ain't give a fuck.
Heartbeat.
All right, nobody touches Ellie. I'm excited for number 2.
Yeah, that game is.
Having replayed it and did the DLC, it's just
Mhm.
great. I loved it.
Yeah,
And there was some shooting, whatever.
right. Yeah.
It's easy for me to look past things like that.
Well, especially with such a great story.
Yeah.
And what's insane about it is that it's not even like super complex. There's complex elements to it, but it's just a journey that is just good. Just a good journey.
It's a good road trip movie,
Yeah.
but in the game, and you're walking most of the time. But it's a road trip movie.
And like the zombies, or you know, like
The clickers.
The clickers,
Y-
that was really cool.
yeah, the clickers and like
Yeah.
that whole concept. I mean, is one of the more unique ways to approach it, and in the way they tied that in with the mechanics of the game and how you had to be quiet and come up with tactics to. It's just like very well designed. Awesome.
Mm.
All right.
Do we want to do our?
Quick honorable mentions round before number 1. Metal Wolf Chaos, pretty fun little fucking romp. It's just hilarious. Just buy it when it's on sale. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, really fun beat 'em up. You probably actually can't get it anywhere now. I think it was only on like the Xbox Arcade, and I think it's gone forever. But if you can find it, go get it. Call of Juarez Gunslinger, like one of the best Wild West shooter games ever in the last decade. If
Not
you enjoy it.
not the other Call of Juarez game.
No, Gunslinger is much better than any of the other Call
Yeah.
of War.
It's crazy how one game series can have like one of the worst games of all time, and also
Yeah, fucking
like one of the best ones.
Like, I had a hard time choosing between that one and like the second one where you play as the brothers, but the Gunslinger is definitely way better. I think after deciding. To the Moon, a fun little RPG maker game that's just full of feels and stuff. And if you want to just have a feely game, go play that. Mad Max, one of the best movie games. Really, I enjoyed the combat and the driving. It was all fun all the way through. Pony Island, a really fun indie game that's just fucking out there. David McNolan, I think his name is. He also made the Hex, which I played last year.
Mm.
He's got some He's got some wild and crazy ideas. I can't wait to see what he makes next. And for my number one,
Dun, 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 dun.
Fallout New Vegas.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I remember playing on the 360 a long time ago. And I was like, oh yeah, this is fun. But like when I first got my computer and like my very first game I ever fucked around with was Fallout New Vegas. I spent countless hours playing through the entire game, playing through all the DLC, playing through it again with mods, playing through it again with other mods. I spent like days, probably weeks on that fucking game. It just, I know, like it's mostly it's number one because it has like a very nostalgic thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only like real reason why it's number one. Because it's kind of hard. Like, is Fallout New Vegas actually better than Persona 5? Well, you know, I mean, whatever. But it's just
Yeah.
It's just it kind of like ushered in a new era for me, I guess, is what happened. It just brought me into like, oh, PC gaming. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can definitely do this, and I need to play it again sometime soon. But I there was a long time where I just would re-download it every year and install some other mods on it and go through it again.
I need to actually like play through Fallout New Vegas, because what you're talking about with that, Matt and I did with Fallout 3. We did like everything you could possibly do in that game. Made all sorts of crazy mods, like in the builder and stuff like that. And yeah, no, I don't know, just like what they did with that was the perfect vehicle for that type of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's my number one. Do.
All right, so a couple of honorable mentions that you guys didn't talk about. Well, you didn't talk about. Death Stranding came out. That was pretty sick.
Oh yeah.
Spelunky. Spent a lot of hours in that game. It's not like a game I would ever put on the list necessarily, but I feel like I need to give it recognition. Call of Duty Black Ops. They didn't make it on the list, but it's Call of Duty Black Ops. Spent hundreds of hours inside the zombies mode. Like, you know, just, obviously like Resident Evil 7, Slay the Spire was super sick. Reach came out in the last 10 years. I'm playing that recently. It's a good time.
Yeah.
But my number one is actually going to have to be, and this is what knocked Hellblade off the list. And I'm actually I'm a little bit weird about this being my number one, I guess, in a similar way. It's Detroit Become Human.
Two David Cage games?
Yeah. And I put Heavy Rain at 3 because they were too close to each other. It would have been number 2, motherfuckers. All right, but I didn't want to.
No, I like look, out of the 4 David Cage games,
those are the two best.
Those are the two best.
Yeah.
Beyond Two Souls is absolute dog shit. Some of the worst shit I've ever.
Yep.
Like, it's awful. Aiden, it's awful.
Yeah, what sucks about that is it's like potentially like the idea of it.
Anyways, talk about Detroit.
Detroit, awesome game, right? It scratches so many itches. It beat out Hellblade only because my love for sci-fi beats out my love for the Elder Futhark, and apparently audio trickery, right? But I liked, it felt like the culmination of the decision making and the ending changing, and all that stuff that started really. I mean, like there was a game before Heavy Rain, but like I think Heavy Rain was like the one that became popular, right?
Yeah.
So like Detroit Become Human took all the work that he'd done until then, and it just became like, shit, this is like really good. And you could go through and see all your different actions, and the detective stuff with and everything was really satisfying to like interrogate people, and you could go so many different routes, and you had to like control, you had to manage their like emotions and stuff like that. And just I don't know, man, like the futuristic cyborg sci-fi shit, it just it's I love it. It's so good, and I'm so excited for Cyberpunk 2077 because it's I don't know, I love the types of stories that go into the AI. Are they human? Are they not human? What makes them a person? All that type of stuff. Like that type of storytelling, I find it super interesting. It never gets old for me. So,
Yeah. And then when I play the game, I don't fuck up. So we actually got the good ending.
Got the best possible ending first try.
Mm-hmm.
Live on
Oh,
stream.
wow.
Yeah. And we deliberated sometimes for 10 minutes on choices to make sure. And we didn't look it up. We just made the decision by looking at all the possibilities. But yeah, super good game.
I've watched countless Let's Plays of it, and it's always different. I've never seen, like, really two similar styles, so it seems like a very fun game.
Yeah.
Very
Like,
cool
and
game.
then the choices matter, like, a lot. I wouldn't say everything changes, but it definitely changes how you interact with everything. Characters you might never come in contact with if you make certain choices. Like, it's really cool. Yeah.
My honorable mentions. Mass Effect trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I played through all three of those games back to back
With Keanu.
with Keanu, my shepherd.
Oh,
Every time Matt ended up making the Shepherd, it ended up looking like Keanu Reeves.
nice.
Every time.
And after I finished 3, I was genuinely sad that I had spent all this time with these people, and they were gone, and it was sad. Dragon Age Origins,
Oh,
Death Stranding,
yeah. Honestly, I
XCOM
just
2.
forgot Death Stranding. I mean, I didn't mean to forget. I was just going through the Wikipedia stuff.
Mhm.
I kind of just glossed through.
Yeah.
But, sorry, continue. I just want to let everybody know Death
Yeah,
Stranding is
yeah.
also my honorable mentions. I'm not a monster.
I liked it too, guys. No, but for
So
real, though,
fair.
it was really good. I spent lots of hours.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
XCOM 2.
Yeah.
Gonna give it
XCOM,
to
going to
you.
give it to you. I think that's all.
Uncharted 2.
Oh yeah, all the Uncharted.
Hmm.
Oh, Red Dead 2, which I think is much better than the first one, but that's just me.
That's like your opinion, man.
Didn't I just say that's just me?
Yeah, I know. That's why I was just agreeing with you.
Don't me you.
No, don't you me.
Damn it, so good.
Fuck.
And then my number one, oh shit, dude, is came out of nowhere. RKO
Oh, fuck.
out of nowhere. Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Whoa. Oh, God. Wait a minute.
No, it's
Is
Persona
that legal?
5. You will
like, wait a
notice that Ultimate and Smash 4, where were they on the list? They didn't even get the honorable mentions. Well,
So, yeah, I talked to Matt about that last night. And, dude, like, I don't know what it is. I didn't feel right. Even though we spent literally thousands of hours in Smash 4 and a lot of time in this Smash Ultimate, it still doesn't break the top 10. And I think I figured it out last night, Matt, and I'll tell you, and maybe you'll agree with me. It's because I only played Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate because I like Melee so much.
yeah.
They are only played because they happen to be in the same world and are connected to the game that I really like, which is Melee.
I just really, really wish Smash Ultimate had a good online system of any kind.
Yeah, we'd be having
That's
so much
the-
fun.
Yeah.
There's so many things that it's just little tiny tweaks that Ultimate could do to get an honorable mention. You know,
Yeah.
remove the buffer system, lower the buffer system. I don't know. Reward aggressive play. Have an online. That's right. I said have because it doesn't.
Yep.
It doesn't have one.
God, it's so disappointing, man. I wanted so badly to be like,
Anyways, we're not
They're gonna
talking
fix
about
that.
Smash.
we're talking
Unless we're talking about Melee. Then I'll talk about it. But Persona 5, I don't know. It's the same reason why I loved Mass Effect. You get to know all these characters, and then I was genuinely sad when I beat the game, and then it was it.
about
Oh, honorable mentions Kingdom Hearts.
So
Oh, yeah.
First, I will say, I mean, I agree. Persona 5, really good. The music's actually kind of influential on the way I'm thinking about music right now. Like 100%. You guys didn't fucking remember Final Fantasy 15.
I didn't play Final Fantasy 15. I played like a little bit of it.
I'm just talking about
All right,
honorable
yeah,
mentions.
Honorable mentions. Oh yeah, definitely.
Because
Final
that's another
Fantasy
game.
15.
Where the
That's
Brotherhood.
just you and your boys.
It's you and the boys fucking driving and shit, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally get why Persona 5 is so hype for you guys, and I actually want to finish playing it.
Might as well wait until Royale with
That's
cheese
true.
comes out.
Just wait till Royale, otherwise you're just gonna
Mm-hmm.
just wait.
Yeah.
It's yeah, Persona 5 is a really fucking cool game. It just, you feel cool, you play it cool, and it's just cool. It's just everything about it's cool and stylish. There's just nothing like wrong.
Feels like there's a lot
what's
in
the
there
word?
for like strategy and figuring out shit and switching things up, and like you could stick with one thing, or you could like mix people together and end up changing the entire way that you I don't know. It's just like the combat seems really satisfying for what I played.
For sure.
All right, let's send this out. I'm fucking tired.
All right, well that'll do for our top 10 games of the last decade.
I mean, if we're considering games that we started playing in this decade, I mean, Melee has to be it. Like, you know how you have number one?
I thought about jokingly saying that, like, hey, I started playing Melee in the
There's
last
like
decade.
number one, and then there's zero. And zero is Melee.
Zero's.
Zero is Melee. There's a lot of games that I wish I could have said would have gotten on the list. Games like Galactic Civilizations 3, Endless Space, like those grand strategy games that I love the idea of, and I love playing them, and I just haven't put the time into them because it's so much, dude. It's just like hours, and it's like a single player game unless you convince your friends to also play and spend hours like making a fucking country or some shit, you know, like it's like this, it's such a big ask, you know, and it's like, okay, is Matt gonna hang out and watch me, you know, it's such a weird type of game that it's like hard to put on a list, and I felt so bad not including those types of games on there, but it's like I love them. I haven't played Gal Civ since we got it, really, like and I do want to go back and play that, but yeah, what a crazy decade. Some years better than others. 2014 sucked. Literally,
for sure, yeah.
The Witcher 3 came out, and Smash 4 were the only
Did I
notable
mention
things.
The Witcher 3 in my honorable mentions?
You did not.
Oh, I meant to.
Oh, forgot about The Witcher 3.
But 2018, great year. So many good games. God of War, you know, all those. 2019 also a pretty good year for like there's like 5 good games. You know, it's nuts. And before we went into this,
It's been a crazy decade.
I was kind of going through my head of like, man, you know, like really great games. There's, you know, it's not the same. No, it's like there's a lot of really good games coming out.
Anyways, please God, send us.
Sorry.
Shut the fuck up and
got
send
you.
us.
Shut the fuck up and keep talking. I got you. All right, Fistcake. Where they can find you? Where can they find you? What are you doing?
You can find me at the Fist Cake on Twitter. I tweet some stuff sometimes. I don't know if I want to do YouTube or Twitch anymore. I just don't know. I'm still debating that. It's just,
I think
I've
you put
kinda
too much
got-
thought into it, man.
I probably do. For sure. But it's just, I don't know. We can talk about this after. I got to get going too. So just tune in for the Fist Cake stuff. I might stream sometime. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. Where can people find you two?
You can check us out on YouTube and Twitch at Neanderthal Gaming TV on both platforms. You can also check us out on Twitter at NeanderthalGTV. Most of the stuff we stream ends up on our YouTube channel. But as far as Content Complete specific information goes, we have a Twitter account at Complete Podcast. That's where you can find all the information about when our streams are happening or just anything specific to Content Complete. So be sure to follow us there. Send us ideas and suggestions to contentcompletecast@gmail.com. The podcast goes live at 3 p.m. Pacific time every other Sunday. We are going to be taking a short break to transition into, it's the holidays and also transition into season 2. So stay tuned for that. And that's when when we'll be like officially starting to really use the Content Complete stream as well as the Content Complete YouTube channel. But the streams happen on every other Sunday, and the next day the episodes go live on YouTube at Neanderthal Gaming TV as well as the Content Complete channel. Anything else?
Peace. Fucking send us.
Bye.
All right, we'll
Thanks
see you
for taking-
guys next year,
Yeah, bye.
next decade. All right, bye.
Oh, shit.